Ch- Oh, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bedford. How are you doing tonight? You're doing pretty good. And I appreciate the slightly subdued enthusiasm, because I know in these difficult times we have to be very careful about how much energy we expend. And we have an amazing night lined up for you. Before we start the show properly, I just wanted to say, first of all, welcome. How many people have never been to the Bedford before? Just raise your hands if you're first time. Oh, it's quite a lot. I'm almost half of you. Welcome. I'm going to explain a little bit about the emergency procedures. The emergency exits are to my left, straight ahead, and there's one upstairs. If at any point during the evening there should be a lack of music, small headphones will drop from the ceiling. To activate them, just pull them towards yourself, and please make sure that you're listening to good music before trying to help elderly people or small children. Seriously though, during the evening there's a couple of things that we just have to remind you about. This is all part of the Tier 2 conditions. One is, no matter how catchy the song, you must only sing along inside your head. They don't say that in the regulations, they just say no singing, but you can sing inside your head, of course. Secondly, if you're going to need to go to the loo, which will be through the door on the left here, or going to go outside for some nicotine there, you should just engage mask to face at that point. Thank you. Also, if you could be just aware to stay as much in your individual bubbles and all that kind of stuff, we would really appreciate it. The good news is, though, if you have a mobile phone, although it should be on the silent position, we encourage you to use it. Take pictures, bits of video, do a Facebook login, not a login, check-in, or tweet pictures, or do Instagram or Snapchat, or Tinder. I mean, whatever you tend to use your phone for. You can also tag us. We are the Bedford Pub. And finally, I want to tell you that we are streaming this show live over the internet. So it's great to have you here, but I know there are people all around the world who couldn't make it here tonight who are able to share this show. So hello to everyone around the world. The stream is on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/The Bedford Pub. So what's happening tonight? This is the second night in the last few months that we've put together a very special show for you. And I'm going to introduce to the stage a very dear, very beautiful, very talented friend who I'm really thrilled to be working with on this evening and the other evenings we've done to tell you a little bit about what's happening tonight. So will you please put your hands together and give a crazy good round of applause for the fantastic Laura Westcott? Woo!
Thank you, Tony. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for coming this evening to our second Music with Meaning at the Bedford. Thank you for having us back here, Tony. And hello, everybody at home watching this on the live stream. Music with Meaning, it's a campaign. It's a campaign for mental health. I'm a musician, and I suffered with anxiety and stage fright in my early 20s. And it spiraled into agoraphobia. And in my 30s, I started having coaching. And it works. I can get up on stage and I can speak to you now. And coaching is something that I didn't know about. And it's something I'm very passionate about other people knowing about, because it works and it's preventative. So a lot of the stuff that happened to me could have been prevented happening to me if I had coaching. So about 4 years ago, I set up a non-profit called Music for Mental Wealth. And we deliver these coaching to the music industry. And one of our coaches is here tonight, Pattini, who's going to speak to you just before the interval. Music with Meaning is the campaign that we founded last year. We did nine shows in London. And I encourage musicians to get up on stage and share the meaning behind their songs. What were you going through when you wrote this song? What was your mental health state? What does it actually personally mean to you? Let's lift the stigma. Let's make it okay to just share our feelings and talk about things. But, you know, of course, a lot of musicians don't necessarily want you to know what their songs are about, and that's fine. So not everybody would want to be involved, but a lot of people are being involved, and we're very lucky that thanks to Tony, Katie Tunstall's one of our ambassadors now, we've got James Bay, and it's just really wonderful the kind of support that we're garnering from the music industry. But also we're here, you know, it'd be wonderful to have your support as well. We've got donation buckets and we've got card readers, but also you bought tickets, and that's wonderful. And we're going to be sharing that equally with the artists and our bursary fund so that we can continue to coach musicians who can't afford it. So tonight, the musicians are going to be sharing the personal stories about the songs they've written. It's going to be very special, and you'll engage with the music on a deeper level. It's going to be something that's quite special and memorable, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as we did the last one. We do have the campaign online now as well, so if there are musicians watching at home or in the room that want to share their stories behind their music, then you can go online and just film yourself doing that and tag in our charity Music for Mental Wealth, so we can share it as well. But Tony's going to kick off the Music with Meaning evening, and then we've got Ned Stranger, who's a dear friend. Well, both of them are dear friends, and REBEKAH FITCH. It's a Music with Meaning family, and we're very, very excited that you're here joining it this evening. Tony's going to perform a song for us. I've not heard it yet, so I'm very excited. But without further ado, have a lovely evening, and I'll speak to you again in a bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura. It's nice to get introduced because I've been curating music here for 17 years, and over those 17 years we've had some incredible artists perform on this stage. And two of the artists that Laura mentioned, James Bay, his picture's on the wall just there, taken here. Katie Tunstall, her picture's on the wall over there. We should just work through the pictures, shouldn't we, Laura? We've got Georgia Smith over there, did her first ever gigs here. We've got Jack Savoretti over there. We've got Sam Smith over there. I think they're all likely candidates. So I'm going to do one song just to kick the night off before we hand over to the incredible Ned Stranger and then REBEKAH FITCH. This song I wrote last year, and I have a very positive attitude in life. I live in the moment, and I spend my time trying to encourage others to live in the moment and to spread good energy and positive thoughts. But one of the challenges with positive thoughts when they are spoken is that after you've spoken them, they can be forgotten over time. However, if you embody them in music, the music can carry that message constantly. So sometimes we find that people, me included, will go back to our favourite pieces of music to put us in a great frame of mind or in a good mood because we know that music can do that. So this song was really written for people that I knew that were going through some tough times before these tough times started. And really just encouraging to people to let your heart sing. When you open your heart and let it sing, everything seems possible. During the lockdowns, I did lots of online shows. In fact, I've done, I think, nearly 160 now. And my mum would watch them on the iPad. She, sadly, this year has became bedridden and quite ill. But so I was staying at her house and doing my shows in her shed. And I would bring the iPad in and I set it up and she'd watch the shows. And one day I came in and was talking to her and she was singing to me. And I couldn't work out what she was singing and why she was, and I thought she was trying to sing that Bobby McFerrin song, you know, ooh, 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 da 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 da, the happy song, right? I said, "Do you mean that one?" She said, "No, it'll be okay, you know, let your heart begin to sing." And then she started singing my song to me that she'd seen me singing on the live streams. So now every day, in the morning, I take this little guitar and I go and I sing to her in bed, and I sing her the song. And she used to be a ballet dancer. She obviously can't dance, but she does ballet in the air with her arms. So as I'm singing, she's singing along and making the shape. So this is the song. It's called Let Your Heart Begin to Sing. I know the world came crashing down on you, but you're a fighter, you will push on through. What's true today's tomorrow's yesterday's news. Just keep the line of love, the one thing you choose. I understand it's hard to see the light when life has turned your day into the night. But don't lose the you always used to be. That is your superpower, listen to me. Oh, oh, don't you worry about a thing. Oh, oh, let your heart begin to sing. Oh, oh, you can change anything. Oh, oh, let your heart begin to sing. Let your heart begin to sing. You have a soul so beautiful and pure. I promise you hope always will endure. Just take a moment and then you'll be back, stronger, wiser on the inside track. About a thing. Oh, oh, let your heart begin to sing. Oh, oh, you can change anything. Oh, oh, let your heart begin to sing. Let your heart begin to sing. 'Cause there's so much to say. So be the you who's brave for me, for me. Ooh, 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 don't you worry about a thing. Ooh, ooh, let your heart begin to sing. Ooh, ooh, you can change anything. Let your heart begin to sing. Oh, oh, don't you worry about a thing. Oh, oh, let your heart begin to sing. Oh, oh, you can change anything. Oh, oh, let your heart begin to sing. Let your heart begin to sing. The world came crashing down on you, but you're a fighter, you will push on through. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to unplug and change my microphone. And in the meantime, Laura's going to come back and begin the introduction for our next part of the show.
Yes, thank you, Tony. That was beautiful. Really catchy. Well, that's catching, isn't it? Yes, I'm really excited to introduce Ned Stranger. Ned, you started off as my business manager, didn't you, Ned, for Music for Mental Wealth? It's just wonderful. He was helping me when I had the idea a few years ago. Ned's a business-minded person, and he helped me come up with the structure. And then when we did the Music with Meaning campaign last year, we actually started off doing 9 shows in London, live shows like this. And we started off at the 6060 Sounds, which is a little guitar shop in Denmark Street. And it was a tiny little venue, 50 people capacity. And then it grew to the Albert Hall. And we did a joint collaboration with the Royal Marines for mental health. And Prince Harry and Meghan came, as you do. And then it was lockdown in March. So it was a big high for our campaign doing that, because obviously Royal Albert Hall is a pretty well-known, amazing venue, and it was to get the message out there, because the Royal Marines, they found it difficult talking about mental health because, stiff upper lip and everything. It was really powerful watching them do this event with us and encouraging people to speak out about things. So it's really great. And now we've moved the campaign online, and Ned kicked it off for us. So he actually did the first Music of Meaning online video, which you can find on our Facebook page and Ned's Facebook page as well. And this will be your first live event this year, which is really, really exciting. And I'm sure you all agree that it's what a beautiful evening. So I mean, I know it's just started, but like the atmosphere in the room and just being with each other, and it's going to be a really really amazing night. And feel free to come and speak to me about anything throughout the evening if you want to hear more information. But without further ado, am I going to introduce Tony back on, or am I introducing Ned straight away? I think Ned. Can we give Ned a warm round of applause, please? Everybody, Ned Stranger. Now, Ned is you're going to share the meaning, aren't you, please, about your music? And the point is to raise awareness about mental health, but also to connect with you guys on a much deeper level, because this is the powerful force of music. And so I'd really appreciate you just to be attentive and listen and talk after Ned has finished, if that's okay. Ned, what are you going to be performing first for us?
So I was actually going to warm my voice up with a little Jeff Buckley cover, which, because I wasn't going to play it tonight, but I did it in soundcheck, and you said that I had to play it.
Oh my gosh, yes, you'll see it on my Insta stories, actually. It was just amazing. Lilac Wine, just one of my favourite songs. Ned, do you want me to carry on talking for a little bit? Okay. Well, I'll talk about Jeff Buckley, actually, because Jeff Buckley, is just an amazing musician who sadly was no longer with us. But the music is just stunning. And when I was going through my depression and anxiety and agoraphobia, Grace is the name of the album, is it? Or is it? Yeah. It is Grace. And I was in my early 20s and I discovered this album. And music's therapy. Music can be therapy. And I just remember listening to this album, and it took me back hearing the soundcheck and hearing this song again. It was like, I feel like I've really come a long way from having those panic attacks to being able to talk to you right now, to be honest with you. And that's the proven capability of coaching. And coaching's not counselling or, it's mentoring in a way. But Nick will tell us more about that later. And the platform Music of Meaning is therapy. Like, these guys, to be able to share, honestly, the people that did it online as well, because sometimes it's not, you can't always get on stage, but people that have been sharing the songs and their meanings online as well, it's therapy. And it's, you can find all of the previous videos on our website, musicformentalwealth.com, and do have a look, because we've got some amazing performances there. Are you ready? Okay, good, I feel right. All right, well, Ned, I'm really excited that you're here. Thank you so much. And everybody, please, Ned Stranger.
I lost myself in a cool, damp night. Gave myself into that misty light. I was hypnotized by a strange delight. Under a lilac tree, I made wine from the lilac tree. Put my heart in its recipe. It helps me see what I wanna see and be what I wanna be. When I think more than I ought to think, I do things I never should do. And I drink more than I ought to drink, 'cause it brings me back to you. Lilac wine is sweet and heady like my love. Lilac wine, I feel unsteady. Where's my love? listen to me. Why is everything so hazy? Isn't that she coming to me nearly? Lilac wine, I feel unready for my love. I feel unready for my love. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to share exactly how I feel right now, which is that this is quite a surreal experience after such a long time not playing in front of people with a microphone. This is actually also my first ever show in London as Ned Stranger. So I've been playing in a band for years called August and After, and we've played here a couple of times and many times in London, but it's so different to be standing here on stage without some reassuring presence of the other guy. And yes, it's quite a poignant concert for me personally, and also it's such an honor to be invited to play by Laura. So the night I met Laura actually was quite funny. I met her at a networking evening, and it was a concert and then just generally meeting people in the music industry, and I was introduced to Laura. Somebody said, oh, you have to meet this person, she's super cool. And we were talking for like, I don't know, like an hour, and then I had to leave the event because I had a job interview on the other side of London. So I went across to the job interview, but I had such an interesting conversation with her that I promised that I would come back, and I did the interview, and then I came all the way back to the venue, which I think was in like Knightsbridge or something, and then we continued talking, and it's there that our sort of journey together started. So it's really special to be invited to play tonight, and and thank you so much all of you for coming as well. It really does mean a lot. So I will be talking about the meanings behind my songs. A lot of these are the first time I've played them live, so it should be interesting. I'm going to start with a song called Known Unknowns, and basically it's about the sort of feelings of, I suppose, when you meet someone for the first time and you're starting to get to know them, and then it turns into some kind of relationship. The initial period of time, I don't know about you, but I've always found myself getting very like insecure about the tiniest details, and I'm not normally like a very jealous person, but there's just that initial period where I'm getting to know them, and I'm like, who's that person that you mentioned, and what's that name? And they'll mention tiny things like they went away on a trip somewhere, and I'll be like, what happened on that trip? So this is a song all about that, and it's called Known Unknowns, and I hope you guys enjoy. I could avoid your past. The truth is a lake, and I know I should jump, but I'm scared it's too cold and dark. It's part of you, I know I'm wrong. Each lover's just another one, but I am a child, lost in the fog. Frightened of meeting all your known unknowns. Every male name's a trap that lies across my path. Each foray abroad, each trip that you caught, imagined or otherwise. Navigating someone's heart feels like a bloodbath. So spare me your years, the map to my fears, a license to fantasize. The more I wait, the more it hurts, but I'll never ask, I'll never learn as I am a child, lost in the fog, and I'm frightened of meeting all your known unknowns. If your life could start, and when we met, I'd feel less threatened, 'cause I am a child lost in the fog, and I'm frightened of meeting all your known unknowns, meeting all your known unknowns, meeting all your known unknowns, meeting all your known unknowns. So, I was living in Berlin for most of last year. I basically did a bit of like moving around and lived in Berlin for a bit and Riga for a bit and tried all these places in Europe. And basically, a man that I met over there, he introduced me to this really cool Marcel Proust quote, which I think is like one of the most misquoted quotes of all time. But it's something along the lines of, the journey to self-discovery lies not in seeking out new horizons, but in having new eyes. So the idea is basically, rather than constantly looking for changes in your surroundings and where you are as the solutions to your problems, instead you should be looking at things, sort of internal things to improve about your situation. And this really struck me, and I think 2 months later I also decided that Berlin wasn't quite right for me and decided to move to Riga. So I wrote this song about that from the point of view of friends that I was sort of leaving behind, who probably didn't really care that much, but from my point of view, they were sitting there singing this to me. So I hope you guys enjoy. This is Other Shores. I lost a friend today, suddenly, you stole yourself away to other shores. The same old eyes will gaze at new horizons, clutching at a place of straw. Weren't you one with me? Will you long for me being here? Was it not enough? Ooh, ooh. When you drift into the sea with the wind in your hair and the sun on your face. When I stumble on the sand and I see a cruel mirage of your embrace. When we're looking at the skies, it's two different times in two different ways. Does a change of scene always mean a changing heart, or just other shores? I watch the colors fade lovingly, lovingly. Your favorite place is now a normal haunt. Our part of town darkens and it tightens, hiding what it had before. Weren't you on with me? Will you long for me being here? Was it not enough? Oh, oh. When you drift into the sea with the wind in your hair and the sun on your face. When I stumble on the sand and I see a cruel mirage of your embrace. When we're looking at the skies, it's two different times, two different ways from our other shores. and the sun on your face. When I stumble on the sand and I see a cruel mirage of your embrace, when we're looking at the skies at two different times, two different ways from our other shores. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, one of my favorite, this is a really weird way to start a sentence, but I'm going to run with it. One of my favorite mathematicians of all time, not a math person, didn't do a maths degree, but I do have a favorite mathematician. It's this French guy from the 19th century called Évariste Galois. And basically, he quite famously came up with loads and loads and loads of ideas very early on in his life. So I'm not even going to bother trying to explain to you because I don't understand. Anyway, long story short, when he was 20 years old, he was, I think, defending the honor of some woman and was challenged to a duel, which he had to accept because of the customs of that time. And the night before the duel, which he knew he was going to lose because the other guy was like a soldier or something, he stayed up all night writing all of his ideas and theorems down in letters to his best friend. And then the following morning, obviously after a sleepless night, he went out and very sadly died. So this is a song all about him called Spiral. I don't really know what it's about other than that. It's sort of, I feel like there's something else in it, but it's basically inspired by his story. So I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. Pride is a pill I was never meant to swallow, but it gets me in the end. Love is a sum that I'm settling tomorrow with an answer I cannot defend. And I will graft through the night and I'll let it spiral. I will plot my life on the line with my numbers and letters at last. Life is a line I was never meant to follow, the proof I could never attest. I needed a sign, but I've gone off on a tangent, so I'll never discover what's best. And I will grab through the night and I'll let it spiral. I will plot my life on the line with my numbers and letters at last. Letters at last. is the time I was never meant to borrow, or the fervor that's tore us apart. I'm a radical, I'm irrational, and I'll finish it all tomorrow with a shot to the truth and the heart. Thank you. Thank you so much. So this next song is called The Highline, and it's basically about watching a city kind of grow up around you and feeling overwhelmed that you can't keep up with it and all the complex emotions that go with that. So, hope you enjoy. Thread along all the lights in the sky, and they're wrapping all around you like a line in a song you used to love. And you're highly strung, don't know where you came from, you can't remember what you want, and you don't know why you never let yourself let go anymore. You're not growing up, you're just growing old, waiting for your fight to unfold. And now underneath the buildings bear their many teeth, with steel and glass and false belief rising up and leaving you behind. And you're highly strung, you don't know where you came from, you can't remember what you want, and you don't know why. Can you ever be higher than the line you've drawn? Oh, you never let yourself let go anymore. You never find yourself getting high anymore. You never let yourself let go anymore. You never find yourself getting lost anymore. Please never let yourself get low anymore. On the Highline. Thank you. Before I play my next song, I just want to say a massive thank you again to Laura for having me, and also to Tony for just being such a wonderful host. I love that song. Where you're over there. Beautiful, beautiful song. I also love your shoes. I was going to tell you, but yeah. Very cool. And also just a big thank you to Richard on sound. It is Richard, isn't it? Yeah. He sent me an email and I forgot his name. But thank you so much, Richard, for just doing a wonderful job with the sound. I really appreciate it. And I'm really excited about hearing REBEKAH play later. I got to hear some of her sound check, and she's just an unbelievable performer, incredible voice, incredibly talented. So you guys are honestly in for such a treat. So the next song I talked earlier about leaving Berlin. This is a song about coming to Berlin. So it was, I don't know, in my head I sort of had this idea that a lot of things would fall into place for moving there. And I don't know, this is going to be a little bit of a ramble. I'm going to try and make a bit more sense. I've spent the last 3 or 4 years of my life just feeling totally unsettled, not knowing where home is, where I should be, traveling around a lot. I've done kind of gigs all over the place. I've gigged all over Europe. I've got a friend at the back, Nick, who I've played a lot of gigs with all around Europe. And I've just constantly been traveling. And in a way, this year has, as a silver lining, has actually given me a chance to sort of just settle in one place for a bit. But this song, which is called Berlin in the Spring, is about that feeling of not being settled and not knowing where home is, and just trying to deal with that. And I don't know, stepping back actually from the song itself, I've only realized quite recently just how good writing music as well as listening to music can be as music therapy. And I'm sort of discovering loads of stuff about myself. And I've always had this idea of myself as quite an outgoing, confident guy, obviously liking attention and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't be standing here. But I don't know, thinking about some of the songs that I write, I write about insecurity, I write about jealousy, I write about this feeling of not being settled. And it's really interesting to analyze myself through the things I decide to write songs about. I just thought that'd be interesting. I thought that'd be sort of quite topical for tonight. So yeah, wanted to share that with you. Anyway, this is Berlin in the Spring. I hope you guys enjoy. Sometimes even just for a day. Home's where it's hardest. It's not just where I started, not just where I happen to stay. But I'm lost now. I don't even know how. I don't even know myself where to belong. Oh, oh, oh. I run from the past and I live for the future, with nothing in between or within. But I caught a glimpse of my happy self here in Berlin in the spring. And I am a shade of my former self. I'm on the path to my better self. I caught a glimpse of my happy self. But I will ride another way, 'cause I'm lost now. I don't even know how. I don't even know myself where to arrive. Oh, oh, oh. And I'm here now. I don't even know how. Running is a way of life, how to survive. Oh, oh, oh. I know I won't stay forever, bottle the air to remember how it feels to be lost in the moment, caught in the now. I know I won't stay forever, bottle the air to remember how it feels to be lost in the moment, caught in the now. And here I am, waiting in the wings, waiting in Berlin, holding out for anything at all. Cities in the spring remind me how it feels to be lost in the moment, holding out for anything at all. I don't even know myself how to survive. Sorry. I have no idea how long I've actually been playing here. I actually genuinely have no idea how long I've been standing here for. It could be years. It's one of those experiences. So I'm going to play a song that I wrote probably about 8 years ago called The Orchard. And it's about that feeling you get when you visit a place that you haven't been for many years and realize just how much smaller everything is. So when you were there the first time, so I was a child when I went back to this place, and everything was huge, and you run around, and then you go back there and realize that it's just a tiny room, and it's kind of about that feeling of nostalgia where you just desperately wish you could go back in time to a certain moment, and all of that cascading through your head at once. So I hope you enjoy. I stood here as a child and whiled away the time, innocent as spring is and moral as a nursery rhyme. This garden's older now, but I am older still, and I'm held hostage by the time I used to kill. The summer's run away, but stopped to take a chill. Oh, to steal a moment, oh, to steal a sweeping glance, oh, to feel the moment. The autumn's shortened all the walls and the frontiers. While the leaves can fall off trees, the apples cling to stratospheres. These grounds are out of bounds to me and all my peers. Now an hour cannot last 1,000 years. Oh, to steal a moment, oh, to steal a sweeping glance, oh, to feel the moment. The long and short of it is echoed on my face, and winter dreams of summer but they can't embrace. I'm in the here and now but lost in time and space. It must be something about this place. How am I doing for time, Laura? I'm good. Another hour it is. This next song, what am I going to play next? Okay, I'm going to do a very new song, never been released, never been recorded. Some of the lyrics haven't even been written yet. I don't really know what it's about, so I'm going to leave this one up to you to decide. It's called Enter the Hero. I hope you enjoy. See how this goes. So you want to change the world, you want to make a mark, but you don't know who to save, who to kill, what to do, what to learn, where to go, how to get along. Every soul is pure, draped in right and wrong. You can't save the world unless you're saving everyone. Your saint is just a sinner with eyes. You're flawed if never taught how to compromise. You'll enter as a hero but leave a fool behind. Whoa. Your cape is wearing thin, your patience thinner still. Still you don't know who to save, you don't know who to kill, don't know who to bring along. Every soul is pure, draped in right and wrong. You can't fix the world unless you're fixing everyone. Your saint is just a sinner with gentler eyes. You're flawed if never taught how to compromise. You'll enter as a hero but leave a fool behind. Whoa. Every soul is pure, draped in right and wrong. Your saint is just a sinner. You're flawed if a beginner. You'll enter as a hero but leave a fool behind. Whoa. Coolio. So one thing we haven't seen a lot of this year is airports, which actually in some ways is good because I really wanted to, like many people, cut down my carbon footprint and find other ways of traveling, and suddenly no traveling at all, which is the best solution. But this is a song called Airports, and it's not actually about airports, it's more about the idea that sometimes you would rather be with somebody and not really know where you stand and be totally confused and have no idea what they're thinking than to kind of be on your own. So it's about the value of company over clarity, sort of. But it is kind of also about airports. Anyway, hope you enjoy. They put lights on the runway just for us, 'cause you stormed into the terminal, kicked up a fuss. You said, all these flights, they need an audience, while we fight over our coordinates. Take me by the hand and leave me blushing. Look me in the eyes and tell me nothing. Sit with me a while, I swear I don't mind. Let's sit and watch the planes and watch them landing. Try to build a silent understanding. Please don't take off, I hate spending time on my own. I've got nothing to declare that's on my mind, 'cause you said to leave old baggage behind. You said, all these flights, they need an audience, while we lounge around in silence. Take me by the hand and leave me blushing. Look me in the eyes and tell me nothing. Sit with me a while, I swear I don't mind the unknown. Let's sit and watch the planes and watch them landing. Try to build a silent understanding. Please don't take off, I hate spending time on my own. Spending time with every passing minute, with every passing plane. I feel there's something missing, I feel we're missing something plain. With every passing minute, with every passing plane. I feel there's something missing, I feel we're missing something plain. Take me by the hand and leave me blushing. Look me in the eyes and tell me nothing. Sit with me a while, I swear I don't mind the unknown. Let's sit and watch the planes and watch them landing. Try to build a silent understanding. Please don't take off, I hate spending time on my own. This final song is the song actually that I kicked off the online Music with Meaning campaign with. It's called Vancouver Waves, and I've never been to Vancouver, but I was writing a song about the idea that if something really awful happened, I would just want to run away from the world and not feel like that was a problem. So the idea that you can kind of lose yourself for a while and the world's still going to be waiting for you when you come back. And it had the imagery of like the ocean and waves and sort of like the end of the world. And I was genuinely looking over a map to find a place that I thought could fit that. And I saw Vancouver and I thought, Vancouver Waves, that has such a lovely ring to it. So that is what this song is about. And I just want to say thank you so much again for coming here at all and supporting Music with Meaning and being here, and also just being such a lovely, attentive audience. It's honestly so special to actually be playing to real people again. So thank you so much, and yeah, it's been a real pleasure. Calmest wave that I've ever known. You are the calmest wave. You ever vanish off the map. Nobody knows, but I'll be on my way. My mood moves like the tide, a storm that builds inside of me. And if you ever vanish off the map, nobody knows, but I'll be on my way. Hibernate till I'm on form. The world can wait another year. Hibernate till I'm okay again. The tidal waves can't follow me here. So I came here to the island. I braved the stormy seas. The air is clean and it's silent, far from such stormy seas. The air is better than a painting. It calms my eyes with ease. But it's the saddest sky that I've ever seen. Whoa. Da, 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 dum, bum, bum. da 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 da. Hibernate till I'm on form again. The world can wait another year. Hibernate till I'm okay again. The tidal waves can't follow me here. You are the calmest wave that I've ever known. You are the calmest wave. When you stopped coming into shore, nobody knows that I was on my way. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow, the brilliant Ned Stranger. Thank you, Ned. What an incredibly beautiful, soulful, and truly engaging and magical performance. And Ned, we are really thrilled that you were here tonight and to be a part of it. I haven't seen you for such a long time. And thank you for your nice compliments about my shoes and my song. And as many of you will relate, for so many months I didn't wear anything on my feet apart from a ratty old pair of tennis shoes every single day because nobody could ever see them. So it's just nice to wear something when you go out, isn't it? Right. We're going to welcome back to the stage before we take the interval from Music for Mental Wealth. One more time, a big round of applause for Laura Westcott and Nick, who will tell you more about what they're up to.
Thank you, Tony. Oh, amazing. What a beautiful first half of our evening. And I hope you agree that when you hear the meaning behind the music, it does make a huge difference, doesn't it? And you just the connection that you feel then to that song and that person is just amazing. So here I am talking about the Music with Meaning campaign. And the one thing I really want to draw your attention to is what Music with Meanings are, it's for. It's for Music for Mental Wealth, which is it's a non-profit, and it's about supporting musicians and music industry professionals before they have problems. And I just wanted to introduce somebody that's working with me, Nick Pattini, who is a best-selling author of a book called Play, which helps introduce coaching methodologies to the music industry, but also he's a musician. And now he's on board Music for Mental Wealth as well, along with Ned Stranger, who they are now writing columns for a magazine in America called Aware now as columnists for Music for Mental Wealth. So we're spreading globally, which is very exciting because it's a global pandemic in all the senses, really. To take it to a serious note, it's like we're here. We're very lucky to be here, and mental health is a serious issue, and it's really great that we're having a beautiful time, but it would be great to hear a bit more about what we're doing so that you get an understanding that it's a really special occasion. So I just want to introduce you to Nick Pattini, who's going to be talking a little bit. I only asked him to do this today, by the way, so that's why he's got a couple of notes, because it's, I thought you'd want to hear about why we're here. I hope you do. All right, Nick.
Thank you. So, is it just me, or has anybody else noticed that there's lots of music industry people and musicians who are struggling at the moment? Can I just see a show of hands? Like who else has noticed that? People who are feeling lost, anxious, and afraid. I think so, and this is something that we're all kind of aware of. Now, I'm someone who's involved in helping to create a brighter future for those people. So my name's Nick Pattini, and I'm a best-selling author, speaker, and coach. And in 2003, I too found myself lost, anxious, and afraid. Because I was a violinist on an Erasmus exchange in Weimar in Germany. And I was away from home. I was suffering from chronic shoulder pain, from overuse, from practicing. And this injury threatened not only my degree, but also my career and my relationship with music. So it felt really important to me. It felt like a really big deal, and it forced me to stop playing the violin, and this made me feel deeply insecure about who I was, right? I was lost because I secretly knew that I didn't know how to solve that problem on my own. And that made me anxious because I thought it meant something about me, like I wasn't enough as a person or as a musician somehow. And so I was afraid because, like lots of men, I was ashamed to ask for help or to kind of even think about admitting that I needed to ask for help. So instead of asking for help, I did two things. I found solace in music and listened to music that really spoke to my heart, like the whole evening tonight is about. But what I also did was I went on a personal development journey myself. So I started reading books, listening to audios, and I eventually ended up at some workshops and then started to have one-to-one coaching with a coach. And mindset coaching. So I ended up working with one of the top mindset coaches in professional sport, someone who was an expert in how elite sports people achieve peak performance. And what I learned in those coaching sessions was such a completely new way of thinking about myself that was so radically different and so transformative that it really made things seem like a new reality to me. And it may not, if you've not had the experience of coaching, that may sound unusual, but it really did change how my world looked and how I looked to myself, how I seemed to myself. It turned my life inside out. It really did. And I had no idea that a conversation could be that powerful. It inspired me to become a coach, just like him, but for musicians instead of sports people. And as a result of that mindset coaching, I felt more grounded in who I am. Imagine knowing that you are enough, just the way that you are. And I felt more creative. Imagine feeling totally secure to take creative risks. And I felt empowered. Imagine really knowing that you can change the world and that your voice and your music in the world matters. It makes a difference. And I realized that my old thinking about myself had been the thing that had been holding me back. It was the thinking. It wasn't the circumstances that were overpowering me in quite the way I thought it was. It was my mind. That my mind was a much bigger part of the equation than I had ever thought. That it was down to me to sort it out. So back in 2003, I thought I needed to control my body better and master my emotions. But I thought the solution was about control and mastery. But it turned out to be mentally exhausting to do all that controlling. And it was about nothing of the sort. It was about neither control nor mastery. And this is what I discovered, that one fresh thought can make life look completely different. And when life looks completely different, then new things are possible for you. You're capable of more than you think because you are more than you think. And because of this, I realized I could combine my skill sets, my background in as a highly trained musician and my experience of mentoring musicians, also with my experience of coaching. So this fascination and passion for the mind took me to work with rock stars headlining at Glastonbury, orchestral principals, conservatoire students, music educators, and other high performers like a Paralympian and sports people and business people. And I've reached the conclusion that coaching is something to shout about, You know, it might be something that is a slightly strange word to musicians or to the average person in the street, and there might be a weird sort of, stigma about life coaching. But it really has made a transformative impact. And those same insights that have transformed my life have transformed the lives of these clients of mine. They've conquered anxiety in their way. They've learned to trust their creative urges, and they've learned to really own who they are. So, having done my research and seen the results in these people that they've experienced and looked at what's been going on in the industry all these years, I've realised there's a real need for this, and that's why I'm so passionate to be involved with this project and with an event like this, and to be speaking to people like you who are receptive to the message. Because music for mental wealth is the solution, not just another way to talk about mental health more. There's plenty of awareness building, but this is, as far as I can tell, and I've done some extensive searching, let's say, seeking, that this helps people be happier, and it helps people be more fulfilled. And especially as a musician, the musician's role in society is to create revolution and to create change and to bring people together and to heal. So by helping those musicians to have that experience, a deeper experience of themselves, I solemnly believe that we are changing the world, and it's important, We need to build a coaching culture in the music industry. And Music for Mental Wealth is the way that we will do that, but we can't do it alone. We need your help and support. So if you want to create a happier, healthier, more high-performing music industry, a new kind of music industry, and you care deeply about mental health, and even if you're just interested and want to know more, then let's connect tonight. And this is the same to the live streamers. There's ways and means for us to connect, whether it's a conversation or an email or checking it out in a bit more detail, what's really going on here. Come and have a conversation with me or with Laura in the interval, which is going to be now. So we've got about 10 minutes or so to mingle and come and have a chat. But yeah, keep the conversation going. That's my message.
That was really brilliant. Did I say enough about you? I'll say more about you.
No, you said too much about me. It's about the event. It's not about me. I'm just an impartial observer. No, it was really good fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin the second part of tonight's musical extravaganza here tonight, as put together by Music for Mental Wealth. And of course, the theme of tonight is music with meaning. I know we've got a lot of people who've never been here before. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've enjoyed the music and the atmosphere tonight, we have live music Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights up until a few days before Christmas. You can find out more about the shows at thebedford.com. And as you know, we are regularly having to reassess how we can put shows on based on national guidelines. We are very lucky that we don't have to close the building and kick you all out until 11 o'clock tonight. However, last orders will be a little bit before 10 o'clock tonight. However, at a little bit before 10 o'clock tonight, you will still be listening on the stage to the fantastic next and final artist. So just remember, at the very end of the evening, you won't be able to order any more drinks unless you do it before 10 o'clock. So please make sure you get the attention of your server if you need to get some more drinks before the end of the evening, before 10 o'clock. Right, I'm going to welcome back to the stage now the fabulous, the glamorous, the superstar Laura Westcott, who's going to introduce the next act and tell us a little bit more about the rest of the evening. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Tony. Oh, what a wonderful evening I'm having, and hope you all are too. It's just fantastic. Very excited to introduce our next artist, REBEKAH. I met REBEKAH last year in London. There was a little intimate gig in Notting Hill, and I was getting a drink at the bar, and I heard this voice of an angel in the other room, and it wasn't REBEKAH I was there to see. It was a friend of mine, and I didn't know who was performing first, but as soon as I heard her singing, I just ran into the other room, and I just was mesmerised by REBEKAH. And I asked her to perform at the launch of Phoenix Rising, which is another movement that I've co-founded about supporting the masculine and feminine energy, just about putting it into balance in society. And at the end of tonight's gig, we're actually going to play a video that we've created that REBEKAH and I sing on. So that's a little treat at the end to have you leaving on even more of a high. And I'll explain a bit more about that later. But when I saw REBEKAH, I was mesmerised. She's a fantastic performer. She's fresh over here from Ireland, and when you hear her, you'll understand why. And REBEKAH will be sharing the meaning behind her beautiful music with you all. And do make a donation if you'd like to. Or there's a bucket there, and I've got a card reader as well at my table, just to remind you. But without further ado, the wonderfully talented, amazing REBEKAH FITCH, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Laura.
this life to tear me up, exploding into melody. And I tell myself it's worth it all as long as you remember me. Don't be sad that I'm gone for a little while. Yeah. I'll be back soon again with a stitched up smile. Yeah, my head is a bomb and it's been rewired, but I have no regrets asking for a try. All the lights are trying to call me. I'll be gone in another life, but I am falling and I like it, drowning in the sea. And I am not myself, can't understand what's happening to me. And only sleep can pull me out. I live in dreams and memories. And I want this life to tear me up, exploding into melody. And I tell myself it's worth it all as long as you remember me. And I'm here in the valley of the shadow of death, but he won't seem to talk to me. And it's a brand new place that I've never been, so excuse me, I'm not ready to leave. And I am not myself, can't understand what's happening to me. And only sleep can pull me out. I live in dreams and memories. And I want this life to tear me up, exploding into melody. And I tell myself it's worth it all as long as you remember me.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm literally so buzzing the whole time. I've been like, I'm so giddy to get on stage. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming out of your houses and flats. I know it's hard, but yeah, I'm REBEKAH FITCH, and it's lovely to meet you all, if those of you I don't know. This next song I'm going to play for you guys is one that I put out just over a month ago. So it's super new for me, and I'm sure it's new for loads of you. But this one is called Game Over, and I put it out alongside like a video game that me and my brother did over lockdown. So I'm pretending that I actually did something for the past 10 months. But anyway, so Game Over for me is kind of about when you come to the end of your journey through school and, you know, university and things like that. Everyone's kind of been on the same path the whole time, and then all of a sudden everyone starts going in their own directions, which is so exciting, but then you suddenly hit adulthood and everything that you thought your life was going to look like when you're an adult is suddenly nothing like that at all. And you spend a lot of your time just trying to keep up with the relentless activities of other people and just trying to hold it together and not let it all fall apart. And it can be a lot when you're trying to get used to that. And so I wanted to write a song that was kind of tongue-in-cheek about all this change and this disillusionment that you face whenever you kind of come out the other side of university and life hits you in the face. So this is Game Over.
what you see, honey? And are you aware of what is kept in the dark? Hey, honey, I feel your frustration, nothing's figuring out. You feel you're running out of time, honey. And everything that you say must be something profound. Ooh, welcome to earth, for all the people raising glass for the cameras. Ooh, nobody told you what to say when you asked for the truth. Oh no, and you feel that you've done it all wrong. Have you reached game over? Do you wanna start over? So here you are at 23, honey. And what you believed is slowly falling apart. You're no longer so naive, honey. For your disillusion by the lack of applause. Just give me what I want. But be careful that you don't turn cynical with miracles. Ooh, welcome to earth, for all the people raising glass for the cameras. Ooh, nobody told you what to say when you asked for the truth. Oh no, and you feel that you've done it all wrong. Have you reached game over? Do you want to start over? To please me, to please me. Ooh, welcome to earth, from all the people raise a glass for the cameras. Ooh, nobody told you what to say when you asked for the truth. Oh no, and you feel that you've done it all wrong. Have you reached game over? Do you want to start over? Do you want to start?
Cheers. Thank you so much. It's so weird that you're all sitting down and you can't move. But I know that you're moving inside your head, so thank you. I'll just tell myself that. The next song I'm going to play for you guys is one that I wrote after I just moved to London, which was last year, back in our naive days. And it's weird because this song's called Loose Ends, and I feel like for me it's been more relevant this year than ever. And the whole idea behind Loose Ends was, I feel like there's kind of a pattern emerging now in my songs because this one is also having no idea what you're doing in life. So Loose Ends follows this imagery that I just found so beautiful that I heard one time of life being like a tapestry. And on one side, all of the threads are, you know, tied up and you can't make sense of what the image is supposed to be. You don't know what thread leads to which and you don't know what the final image is supposed to look like. And at that moment when I wrote it, I was totally feeling that I couldn't find out what parts of my life were matching up. Nothing seemed to fit together. There was no direction. I was just so confused and nothing really made sense to me. But on the other side of the tapestry, you can see the full picture. and you can see all the details, and you can see how all the threads are woven together to make something whole and something beautiful. And for me, that was such a relief, you know, that there's another perspective. For me, that was my faith, that like you can see the whole picture of what my life is supposed to be and what all the threads eventually weave together to make when they do start to make sense. So this is Loose Ends.
How do you make sense of it all? The loose ends and the questions that have you up against the wall. If I could understand just one more thing, I'd ask the unknown reason for this suffering. Darling, your life is like a tapestry you gaze upon from underneath, but all you see are threads and strings hanging loose, so you can see the beauty seen from up above. The finished picture made from love, the other side your father sees, complete in its entirety. Trying to find a reason in the fear, the chaos and the overwhelming need for something clear. If you had understood the whole way through, you'd have no need for faith, you would rely on only you. You'd have no need for faith, you would rely on only you. Darling, your life is like a tapestry you gaze upon from underneath, but all you see are threads and strings hanging loose, so you can't see the beauty seen from up above. The finished picture made from love, the other side your father sees, complete in its entirety. It may not look like anything, yeah. It may not feel like it's okay, yeah. So be patient, my dear. Have faith in the year, for all is worked together for good. Darling, your life is like a tapestry you gaze upon from underneath, but all you see are threads and strings hanging loose, so you can see the beauty seen from up above. The finished picture made from love, the other side your father sees, complete in its entirety.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to play one of my earlier songs, which I'm aware for a lot of you is also new, even though it feels like it's super old for me. It's one called Another Show, and it's been with me for a long time. And when I was starting to really get into songwriting, I wrote a lot about mental health, and that was something that Laura and I kind of bonded over whenever we were talking about music for mental wealth. And this song was the first song I kind of wrote about when I was feeling very down and very low. And it was about a time whenever I just became so much more withdrawn, and I found it really hard to open up to people about that. And so every day just became another day of putting on a facade and putting on a mask. And it's something that we all do, and I find it so hard to talk about, so I just hide behind my songs. So this is another show.
But you still see the smile I want you to see. They won't recognize the pain you try to hide, and you keep telling lies to keep them at peace. But it's cold inside the mind that once could set the sky alight. At night, black velvet swallows you, and can you think of what it might be like if you felt nauseous every time you smile? Just enough and come and eat you up inside. But is it all inside your mind? And it's been so long, but it won't let go. It's our mad world, but it's all you know. You can't feel love, but you know it's cold. So come on, wire it up, watch you glow. Put on another show. It's too hard to control this broken electric soul. It's too much, I don't know if I can be free. But you know you'll survive. You've been here 100 times, and still it's hard to find desire to be. But it's cold inside the mind that once could set the sky alight. At night, black velvet swallows you, and can you think of what it might be like if you felt nauseous every time you smile? Just stand up and come and ease you up inside. And is it all inside your mind? And it's been so long, but it won't let go. It's our mad world, but it's all you know. You can't feel love, but you know it's close. So come on, wire it up, watch you glow. Put on another show. mess you've made, all covered in sin? And have you lost yourself 'cause you wanted to sing? And it's been so long, but it won't let go. It's a mad world, but it's all you know. You can feel love 'cause you know it's close. So come on, wire it up, won't you glow? And it's been so long, but it won't let go. It's a mad world, but it's all you know. You can feel love, but you know it's close. So come on, wire it up, won't you glow? Put on another show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was contemplating whether to play this next song because it's one of my newer ones that I never actually played it at a gig before. I'm trying to squeeze as many songs in as possible because, you know, it's been a while. But what the heck, I'll play it. This one is called Goodbye. And I'm the kind of person that is forever looking forward onto what's next, and I'm really bad at actually reflecting on things, and you know, so I'm not really one for goodbyes. I'm kind of just like, just see ya, and don't really think about it and just push it to the back of my mind, but because it's easier to do that. And I think there's been so many goodbyes this year, you know, with people moving and people losing family, and I wrote it even before all of this happened. But I wanted to have something that signified everything that I wanted to say, but I never really bothered to say because it was easier to just, you know, pretend that I would see them soon. And so I wrote this song basically summing up everything for me that a difficult goodbye needs to have in it. And a lot of the time it's actually, you can't really find the words to say it. And so I wanted to have a song that finally said all that I wanted to say whenever I was saying goodbye to people, whether that was for a short period of time or whether it was for forever. And so this is Goodbye.
Oh, for a life, I have found it so divine. But there is a time when we have to say goodbye. Darling, I know it's true. Your kindness has brought me through. And what can I give to you that would ever do? Don't say the words that I can't return. Let silence speak 1,000 words. I know your heart and I've held your word. I'll leave with more than I've ever earned. Wherever you go, I'll be the air that you breathe, presence you feel, and I'll know. Though you're afraid of your grief, with time you will heal and you'll grow in the face of loss. Even though lovers be lost, all love shall not be in vain. Now, either awake or asleep, I remember how your arms feel. Oh, if we tried, we'd be lost for hours on end. This depth of goodbye, it is better left unsaid. I'm scared that I can't control the changing of what we know. I'm feeling my heart unfold as I'm letting you go. So don't say the words that I can't return. Let silence speak 1,000 words. my brim-filled heart, it quivers so as it bears the weight that a world can know. Wherever you go, I'll be the air that you breathe, presence you feel, and I'll know. Though you're afraid of your grief, with time you will heal and you'll grow in the face of loss. Even though lovers be lost, our love shall not be in vain. Either awake or asleep, and you'll grow in the face of loss. Even though lovers be lost, our love shall not be in vain. Either awake or asleep.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is just so special. Just soaking it in, you know? It always goes so fast. I'm going to play one now called Guns with Guns. And this one, whenever I initially wrote it, I had this chorus for years and years. And I was a bit younger at the time, probably felt I was being really deep. But it was all about war and the hypocrisy of war and how we play the victim. And I sat with that chorus for probably a year or so. And whenever I wrote the verses, it ended up being so much more about day to day, how we deal with people who have different opinions than ours, and how much self-righteousness that I'm so guilty of having. Whenever someone has a different opinion, you know, we're so quick to just say that's wrong, instead of, you know, I think Laura and I were talking earlier about there's two sides to every story. And so this song for me was definitely one that I was trying to understand how to be more compassionate and empathetic for people in different situations who have different views. And so it became less about the macrocosmic war that I was so distant from, and more about how I deal with people. Hope you like it.
Everybody's on the good side in their own mind. Open up your eyes, shut down your pride, and you might just find an empathetic state of mind. And you see ignorance breeds hate. It's unknown, so it's a threat. No desire to educate. I just keep hearing them say, we'll fight guns with guns, we'll fight death with death. We're not the ones at fault, we are the victims left. So we light up the sky, attempt to unify. Can that be true? Or just a way to justify what we do? Everybody is a good guy. The self-righteous can be blind. Open up your eyes to see these lies. Another way to colonize. And you see ignorance breeds hate. It's unknown, so it's a threat. No desire to educate. I just keep hearing them say, we'll fight guns with guns, we'll fight death with death. We're not the ones at fault, we are the victims left. So we light up the sky, attempt to pacify. Can that be true? Just a way to justify what we've done. What have we done? we are the victims left.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It is really weird playing to real people. I don't know if any of you can empathise, but I've been doing live streams for so long now that it's a bit trippy, but pretending to hold it together. I'm going to play a song now that I dearly love. It's called Need to Feel. And again, it's about mental health. For me, this one I wrote whenever I was feeling not good. And I think a lot of us, I personally am guilty of this, having the tendency whenever you're suffering from depression and you're in one of those darker periods that you detach yourself even more and you convince yourself that you're completely alone and isolated from everyone. And the more that you listen to that voice, the more you isolate yourself and the louder it becomes. And for me, I really struggled to open up to people because I didn't want to feel like a burden. And, you know, that cycle just continues of feeling more isolated and more detached from people and eventually just numbness. And so eventually I managed to kind of open up, and it was the best thing that I ever did, you know, just talking to people and opening up, because I find it really hard to open up to the people that care about me the most, because they would be the ones that cared the most and so would be troubled by all of my troubles. But honestly, that was what kind of got me out of that and just opening up. And so I always share this story at gigs because I find it so powerful and I love sharing the meanings behind songs. So this is Need to Feel.
Till the first light inside. Ooh, I'm feeling caught up in a landslide. 52 weeks of alone time, wanting the fear of a fast ride. I need to feel, I need to feel something there. I need to feel, I need to feel again. Father, do you see me? I'm not breathing, and I pray before it's too late. You'll discover that I'm grieving for no reason. Yeah, it's an empty vessel, longing for some life, dancing around like it's all fine. You see me laugh in the sunshine, desperately for a lifeline inside. Ooh, I constantly feel like I'm losing. I don't know if I can do this. I just can't face being human. I need to feel. I need to feel something there. I need to feel. I need to feel again. All we need to be free from our sin. All of the glitter and jammed as a gin. You're holding my hand as we're dancing to slim. It's a cool night. Hold tight. You and me, we're always running through life. Iridescent, fluorescent, and sparkling with light. Laughing and crying and painting our smiles. It's a cool life. Hold tight. I need to feel. I need to feel something there. I need to feel, yeah. I need to feel again.
Thank you. You guys are too kind. Thank you. I'm going to take it back down again for this next one. I released this one this year as well, and it's called Dust. And whenever I talk about it before playing it, I always kind of say that it was the hardest song I've ever written. And for me, it's the most meaning packed into one song. And I think a lot of songwriters will have those few songs that will stay with them for life. So this song is kind of about losing someone that you never thought you would lose. When you kind of built this whole future being with them. And, you know, for me, that was 6 years of building up expectations of what my future was going to look like and what my life was going to be. And all of a sudden that was gone, and you're not even at square one anymore. You're way before that. And this song I wrote, it was definitely very therapeutic. But yeah, it's just very important to me, I think. But there's a lot of resilience in it as well, that it's not the end. So this is Dust.
Will someone wake me when I can start to breathe again? My days, they feel so strange. I can't get used to you not there. But I won't give up, and I won't break down. I know I'm stronger than the bond we've torn apart. No, I won't give up, but I might break down. 'Cause I am hurting and it's too much for one heart. Hope turns to dust, just pieces of a broken life. Before I rewrite my heart, I just wanna know how you are. I just wanna know how you are. Can I break free from this? Two hearts so deeply intertwined. Each time I think I'm fine, another little detail comes to mind. No, I can see a time when all won't be compared to you. Do you believe in one true love? 'Cause I would say that I used to. No, you don't see the way I do. I'm sorry if you thought I ever lied to you, and I know you wish I hadn't changed. Why did it take so long to see you were not the same? Hope turns to dust, just pieces of a broken life. Before I rewrite my heart, I just wanna know how you are. I just wanna know how you are. Ooh. And when I close my eyes, I still remember how it feels to trace my fingers on your face. I still know every single detail, like I've never left that place. And every time I think I'm fine, I picture you as someone new, and I feel sick 'cause you're not mine. Or was this all a waste of time? Hope turns to dust, just pieces of a broken life. I can't just rewrite my heart, decide to just fall out of love. 7 months we've been apart, and I just wanna know how you are. I just wanna know how you are. Thank you.
Well, this is going to be my last one, but I am so grateful to every single one of you that came, because this is so special for us musicians, and I hope it's special for you as well, getting out of your houses and all. Yeah, I'm going to leave you with this final song. And before that, I want to say a massive thank you to Tony and Laura for having me. It's been so special, and I'm so passionate about what they're doing, because in my own music, the main thing I want to do is write songs that have meaning and that make people think and challenge people and help people open up, and songs that resonate and you know, get people talking and things like that. So I love everything that they're doing, and I'm so keen to be a part of it. So I'm going to leave you with this last song. It's called I Love So Crazy, and I normally end with it because for me it's just a song that's so filled with joy and celebration. Yeah, so this is I Love So Crazy, and I hope you like it. Oh, I should probably also say I've got like merch and stuff, but whatever. And also a card reader. I like an actual card reader. I'm so high tech. Okay. Come and chat to me afterwards.
Taste the blood so beautiful that it brings me to my knees. And it never runs out, it never runs dry. And I know it's gonna break the chains that hold me down to die. And it never runs out, it never runs dry. And I know it's gonna break the chains that raise me to the sky. 'Cause this is a love so crazy I can't understand. Though I can't comprehend it, it just keeps on washing over me. Love that will last eternally, free as the air, breathe. This is a gift we can't justify. We are children, innocent and clean. It never runs out, it never runs dry. And I know it's gonna break the chains that hold me down to die. It never runs out, it never runs dry. And I know it's gonna break the chains and raise me to the sky. 'Cause this is a love so crazy I can't understand. And though I can't comprehend it, it just keeps on washing over me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Perfectly surrounded, it is holding me. This is what I live for, this is heavenly. Perfectly surrounded, it is holding me. This is what I live for, this is heavenly. 'Cause this is a love so crazy I can't understand. And though I can't comprehend it, it just keeps on washing over me. This is a love so crazy I can't understand. And though I can't comprehend it, it just keeps on washing over me.
Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
Woo! Wow! Wait. All right. Woo, woo, woo! Amazing! I had goosebumps, so much. Your voice is so powerful. Thank you so much. I am going to thank people in a minute, but before we go on to that, we're going to have a little chat because we're going to... so obviously when I met Rebekah at this gig last year and she did this, it was Dust, and you were right, you said the meaning behind it, and that's where I got your attention. Well, you got my attention, shall I say, because she did a music meaning without it being a concept.
I'm going to tell them the meaning and they didn't even ask for it. Yeah.
And I was like, this girl gets it, because I was doing it. I was doing the series, and it was just such a beautiful connection. And then, as I mentioned to you earlier, Rebekah performed at the launch of Phoenix Rising, and what's really interesting is that because I mentioned to you earlier, I'm a musician, I had anxiety. Rebekah's helped me go full circle with it, and we actually co-wrote a song together just a few weeks ago that's just been released called Time to Rise. And some words flew out of me, and it's all about bringing the masculine and feminine energy into balance. It's about being kind, and it's about, this feminine movement, and it's about compassion, and some words flew out of me. And of course, when I'm thinking about somebody to sing it, this one, of course I'm going to commission REBEKAH FITCH to sing this call to action anthem. So we got in touch, and then you made my words lyrics, and then you wrote the song. And then when we were in the studio, she empowered me to sing on it. And it wasn't planned, and it was so organic and effortless. And we wanted to just share that with you, if that's okay. Did you want to say anything about it before? Because are we just going to play it straight away? Do you want to say anything about it? Or?
Yeah, I think it was just a really awesome journey to kind of go on it together, because you, at the start, I just moved to London when I met you, and you gave me a lot of opportunities, and then to be able to kind of have that come full circle, like you were saying about when I wrote the song, I was like, you should totally sing on it, because it's your passion behind it, and it's all the words that are your words that need to be sung. So it was awesome to do it together.
It's quite an emotional moment. How does it work? Do we have to move the keyboard? What happens? What do we do?
Let's move it. Okay.
Let's move the keyboard. But let's not have an awkwardness. Let's all have some maths. Do you want to move around so you can see the screen as well? That'd be awesome, because we've got a video for it. And this is for Phoenix Rising, which is, as I mentioned earlier, but it's music with meaning. And the whole set that REBEKAH's done is just absolutely stunning. And Ned as well. You're absolutely brilliant. It's just amazing moment. But we just want to share this video with you all, and then I'll bring up Tony to close the night. So thank you ever so much. Do we move this then? Okay, all right, great, thank you.
The skies older than the sands of time. I wonder, can you hear my cry for over time? There has been a misaligned symmetry of pure design. Oh, Father, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise. Feel a change in energy as we rise from the ashes, bringing peace and compassion, waking the love inside, liberating the masses. We restore the imbalance, breaking free from the silence, waking the love inside. Our desire to see the people harmonize, 1,000-generation choir, all singing. Time to rise. Can you see the phoenix fly, transcending our divergent tides? Oh, winning. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Feel a change in energy as we rise from the ashes, bringing peace and compassion, waking the love inside, liberating the masses. We restore the imbalance, breaking free from the silence, waking the love. We fall in freedom, unity of people, power and femininity, strong and free. We live and breathe this, love will be our beacon, no longer defeated, strong and free. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we fly. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we fly.
Thank you. I mean, I know it's confusing having, Phoenix Rising and Music for Mental Wealth, but it's all about collaboration. And Rebecca's performed tonight. I could not play this to you. It's such an important message. And please join the movement. PhoenixRising.global. There's, just sign up to our website. And we're launching in January, and it's going to be a collaborative movement, bringing feminine energy back into balance. And authenticity is a feminine trait, and that's what we're doing here this evening with Music with Meaning. It's about being authentic and collaborating and sharing and being kind. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for coming this evening. I thought it was really special, and it's really wonderful to have shared this beautiful evening with you. We will be doing it again, hopefully next year, and if Tony will have us back, I'm sure he will. It's been fantastic. Rebecca and Ned, you're absolutely amazing. Please follow their social media accounts and buy their music and do everything you can to support these fantastic artists. Thank you so much to the Bedford for having us this evening. Thank you very much, Tony, for being the most amazing host. He's so amazing and funny. And if you don't know Tony Moore, I mean, he's a legend. He used to be in Iron Maiden. He was the original drummer in Iron Maiden, and he was in the Cutting Crew. And this, he's fantastic. And he's been doing these shows for 17 years. And that's passion and purpose, and it's fantastic, and thank you so much. And yeah, if you would like to make a donation, there's a bucket at the end, and that's all the money that we raise this evening will go towards the coaching of musicians through the donations, and then the ticket money will be given to the musicians, because you have to support musicians at this time. And it's just, thank you so much for being here. Okay, well, stay safe, everyone. And I've been Laura, and it's been really a pleasure to co-host you with Tony. Thanks so much, Tony. Do you want to say some final words?
I'll say a couple of final words. Laura Westcott is two words that aren't final, but are fabulous. Thank you, Laura. Amazing job. Beautiful singing on this production. A quick caveat. Keyboards in Iron Maiden, not drum. I don't play drums. But it's similar, so we're always at the back. I love these nights, Laura. You pull together such an incredible energy between your friends and the people who support you, and the people who come on board to see what we're doing, and the musicians that come and give us their time, their talent, and the stories behind their songs. I want to say a big thank you to Nick for giving us such an inspired introduction and speech about what you do. Thank you on behalf of all musicians and all people that benefit here. It's getting more and more necessary. And I want to say that January, we should do another one, shouldn't we? You and I will talk.
I think so, yeah. I'm up for it.
Yeah, you're up
What
for,
do you
you're up for
reckon?
coming for another one of these? They're working, aren't they? I like it. Listen, we've had a great night. And as was mentioned at the very beginning, there was one man who made it all sound so good. Our sound engineer, Rich, the god of audio. As I often say, one of the great hallmarks of the incredible sound that he creates or presents in this room for the artists is that you don't notice it. You're here caught up in the moment, in the heart of the performance, and you don't notice that there's great sound because you shouldn't. It should just be an amazing experience. The only time you notice when there's great sound is if you've been somewhere where the sound isn't great, and you go, oh, it's feeding back, or it's muffled, or it's... So for us, the joy in this space is that we've been able to create somewhere for artists to be seen and heard at their absolute best. And I know there are many, many grassroots venues around the country that are struggling, are still closed, and some may never come back. So I never forget that we are very privileged, and I'm very blessed that we're able to do this. Thank you. Keep supporting live music. Check out thebedford.com for more shows. We're doing Tuesdays to Fridays. Most of the shows are pretty full at the moment, has to be said. And then we're back again in January. Artists, Ned, Rebecca, you were amazing. On behalf of me and the team here and all our fantastic staff, thank you for looking after us. We'll see you again soon. We love you very much. Thank you and good night.